At one point, my dad was in a coma for about 3 months, and one of the things that really bothered me while he was gone was that I couldn't remember his pancake recipe. When he woke up, he was missing about 10 years worth of memories, so it took a couple days to get him up to speed on current events. And then at one point, I said, "Hey, by the way, Dad, when you come home, you're going to have to teach me your pancake recipe." And he said, "Well, okay, but I can also just tell you the recipe right now if you want it." And I said, "You remember the pancake recipe off the top of your head?" And he said, "Yeah, of course I remember the pancake recipe." So I got out my notes app and I got all ready to write it down. And this is what he said. "So we're going to start with eggs." I said, "How many eggs?" And he said, "Well, how many people are we feeding?" So pretend it's like when I was a kid, you, me, and mom. So 3 people. And he goes, "Well, how hungry are we?" "I don't know, Dad, regular hungry." So he says, "Okay, let's do 1 egg per person plus one. So that's 4. But make it 5. I'm feeling hungry." He's on a feeding tube, but okay. "Next up, you're going to add your milk." "Well, how much milk?" He goes, "I don't know." "What do you mean you don't know?" He goes, "Well, you just add it till it's the right color." Of course, I'm like, "What's the right color?" He goes, "It's going to be pale yellow." I'm like, "Okay." He goes, "Next, we're going to add our flour." Now, I'm sure you know where we're going with this, but remember, I'm still basking in the glory of my like miraculously awake and alive dad. So I asked, "How much flour?" And he said, "Couple scoops." I said, "What size scoop?" And he said, "I don't know, whatever's in there." I did eventually get the recipe out of him. It is 5 ingredients, no measurements, and it pretty much goes like this. Start by whisking together your eggs and your milk. I'm going to use almond milk, and in the past, I've used egg alternatives, so this is a very flexible recipe. I don't find that the color is a great indicator, especially if you're using homegrown eggs. Then you're going to add your flour, and what we're really going for is a very thin consistency here. So you'll see this is actually too thick. I add more milk, mix it in, and then I get this very thin consistency, which is what I want. I'm going to add my sugar. Really don't need too much because you're going to put maple syrup on these anyway, and then maybe a tablespoon or two of oil. Again, this is an incredibly thin batter, and you're going to cook it just like regular pancakes and try not to burn them. Now, obviously, these pancakes don't turn out like ones that you would find in a diner. They are very dense. My mom called them lead sinkers because of how they sit in your stomach. But I love the simplicity of this recipe, and I love that no matter what, if I'm feeling a little nostalgic and I want a little taste of childhood, I always have the ingredients to make some variation on these pancakes.